The Cleveland Browns quarterback situation has spiraled into one of the most volatile sports dramas of the year, a collision of timing, ego, money, and raw ambition that no one in Cleveland saw coming. It feels like the kind of escalating conflict usually reserved for scripted sports films, except this is real, happening live inside one of the NFL's most unpredictable franchises. What began as an opportunity for a young quarterback to rise has now erupted into a full-scale identity crisis for a team already teetering on the edge of chaos. And as this saga unfolds, the city, the fans, the media, and even the players inside that locker room can sense the storm tightening, knowing a moment of reckoning is coming soon. At the heart of this unfolding drama is Shedeur Sanders, a rising star whose journey to the NFL came with more expectations than most rookies ever face. He is the son of a legend, groomed from childhood for the spotlight, carrying the kind of swagger and confidence that comes from being raised in the orbit of one of football's most magnetic personalities. When Shedeur landed in Cleveland, stepping onto the field as the new face of the Browns offense, something shifted. For the first time in years, the team seemed to have rhythm, energy, and momentum. Sanders didn't just manage games. He breathed life into them, leading drives that felt electric and injecting a feeling of hope into a franchise long haunted by disappointment. Fans latched onto him instantly, seeing in him the spark they had desperately missed. But as Sanders surged, a different presence lingered in the shadows, a ghost of expectations past, a reminder of a decision that had reshaped the entire organization. Deshaun Watson, the quarterback handed a fully guaranteed $230 million contract, had never lived up to the monumental gamble the Browns front office made. Once considered one of the league's elite talents, Watson's transition to Cleveland had been disastrous, marred by off-field controversy, inconsistent performances, and injuries that chipped away at whatever confidence he once had. Every snap felt heavier than the last, every mistake amplified, every setback a reminder of the franchise-altering gamble that now seemed like a historic miscalculation. When Watson went down with injury, it didn't spark panic. It sparked relief. Not out of malice but out of exhaustion. Cleveland needed a reset, a chance to escape the weight of the Watson contract and everything tied to it. Sanders became that reset, bursting into the spotlight with energy that spread throughout the stadium. He played with poise and charisma, with the confidence of someone who knew he belonged. Suddenly the Browns had hope again. Fans cheered. Analysts took notice. The franchise, long doomed by instability, seemed to have stumbled into something real. But as fate tends to do in Cleveland, that moment of clarity didn't last long. Watson's practice window opened. The quarterback they had bet the future on began making his way back. He traveled with the team. He stepped into drills. He re-entered the ecosystem he once dominated. And immediately the questions began. The tension rose. The quarterback room became the epicenter of a storm, and everyone knew the collision was coming. The Browns now face a decision that could define the next decade of the franchise. On one side stands Sanders, the young sensation winning games and uniting fans. On the other stands Watson, the most expensive commitment in team history, a contract so massive it weighs on every choice the organization makes. The franchise is trapped between what feels right and what feels obligatory. To bench Sanders now would risk fracturing team chemistry and alienating fans. To bench Watson would be an admission of catastrophic failure, a move that would echo through every level of the organization. Players inside the locker room feel the tension growing with each passing day. They're forced to choose between the quarterback giving them life on the field and the quarterback the front office remains financially tied to. Every practice rep carries extra meaning. Every rumor spreads like wildfire. Coaches feel the pressure too, knowing that any decision they make risks angering ownership, fans, or players. There is no safe choice, no easy path. Only consequences. And then Sanders spoke. Calmly. Confidently. Professionally. He applauded Watson's return to practice, acknowledged his hard work, and delivered the kind of measured answer expected from a leader. But beneath the polite tone was a message as clear as day. Sanders was not intimidated. He was not stepping aside. He had earned his moment and he wasn't going to surrender it without a fight. The sentiment behind the viral phrase circulating in headlines captures everything he implied without needing to say it aloud. He cannot bench me, I'm starting. This wasn't arrogance. This was conviction. The kind athletes at the highest level must have to succeed. Yet even with Sanders' poised confidence, the emotional weight of the situation is enormous. Watson's silence speaks volumes. His future in Cleveland feels uncertain, his legacy in limbo. A once dominant player now finds himself in the unfamiliar position of being the outsider, the question mark, the shadow looming behind another man's rise. How he responds will shape not just his future but the future of the team. Behind all of this is the Browns' catastrophic contract decision, the fully guaranteed deal that has become a chokehold on the franchise's flexibility. They cannot cut Watson. They cannot realistically trade him. They cannot escape the financial fallout. They are tethered to a quarterback who may no longer be the one they believed they were paying for, while a young star stands ready to take the reins. No other team in the league has put themselves in a position so fraught, so tangled, so self-destructive. And now, everyone is watching. Every game Sanders plays is another data point and a decision too big to delay much longer. Every sign of Watson's progress intensifies the impending confrontation. The media hovers around the facility. Fans divide into factions. The league watches with fascination, knowing this saga could reshape quarterback dynamics across the NFL. The truth is that this story is no longer just about who starts on Sunday. It's about ego versus opportunity, legacy versus future.